understanding how money works and how you want to earn money, how you can earn money is something that schools don't really teach you directly through their academic curriculum. The reason for me to, well, my son's not quite there yet to be able to understand that concept, so maybe another year or two, but I will be giving him his allowances in different currencies. And he's probably gonna start to wonder. Well, in the beginning, he's gonna be like, well, what is this, right? And then he probably just asked me to just turn them into dollars, so I will. At one point, he will probably start to wonder, why does my dad do this? Why doesn't he just give me dollars that I can use here in the United States? Why is he giving me Korean won? And he might start to wonder why that is. And when he starts to wonder that, I'll probably tell him all about the whole conversion rate, the exchange rates. This is what happens. Sometimes the dollars are strong, sometimes the Korean won is strong. So I'm sure it's not gonna come to him just like that. It's gonna take some time. But the idea is I want to encourage them to think about these concepts on their own rather than being taught in an AP macroeconomics class. Oh, and this is how the exchange rate works. As much as they might understand the whole idea of how the graphical, work actually, all come into place, they might not actually understand it to the point that they can apply that in the real world knowledge. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just, for my sons to learn the actual economic lessons rather than something they're just gonna read off of textbooks.
Since you understand both Korean and American cultures, you may notice that some Korean parents prefer to financially support their children so they can just focus solely on studying, while many American parents encourage their children to start working from a young age. What do you think about this difference in parental perspectives on money?
Yeah, I completely understand where the Korean culture comes from. That's just the way we've been. For that small country to make it this big globally, that had to mean a lot of striving. And you know what? Ours mainly came from hard work. And within our culture, hard work probably means studying hard. So I get it. And also, this is another stereotypical thing that we have it within our Korean culture, that white collar job pays more than the blue collar job. That's just like it's not necessarily true, but at least within the context of our Korean culture, that somewhat has been true. So I think studying hard is important. And I think for parents to be able to support that financially, I think that's a great thing. That's a beautiful thing. But also at the same time, there's still very underrated importance of being able to teach your kids what it exactly means for you to spend the $50 for a meal, right? I mean, if you were to go out there as a barista at Starbucks, you're gonna have to literally make like 30, 40 cups of coffee in the span of 2 hours to make that $50, including tips, right? So I think it's very important that you mix both so you find the right balance between the two. And if I were to really speak to all the Korean Americans living in the United States, I would actually put the numbers 70% understanding how that money works and 30% studying hard. Because, yes, we're Korean Americans, but at the end of the day, you're living here in the United States. And you have to understand, just on average, at least within the American culture, you have to understand how much money is in that blue collar industry. A lot of people don't understand it. As much as the office jobs look great and all, no. Actually, there's probably more lump sum amount of money in the blue collar industry. So yes, I think having good mix is important, but at least within the modern world context, I think parents should focus more on the money part. Making your kids work for their money, or at least have those experiences so they understand that it just doesn't come from nowhere. You have to make that money, and in order to not go through all that work that you would otherwise have to do in order to make that money you want, then you might really want to start studying how can you make that money without having to do all those work. Maybe perhaps that will just automatically encourage the kids to start studying economics and so forth.